Yeah, this is the realest shit that I've ever wrote. These are my thoughts from May to July 2026. Place for my negativity to dwell outside of my mind and body. I write this as a diary to myself. A burn after reading, delete when finished, memoir of my mental health struggles. A way to cope, a therapeutic escape from my mind. Setting free the pressure valve of my thoughts into the universe and letting it ease the weight on my shoulders. I hope that this works. Life has always been chaos. Some of my earliest memories are being disciplined and waiting for my mom to return to get home from work for someone to be on my side. The chaos never remained constant. There were many ups and downs. Maybe this diary will help me through some childhood trauma, unresolved emotions, and learn how to forgive not only those in my life, but myself as well. Every day since at least the age of 12, I've been at constant war with myself, always questioning if I'm good enough, seeking validation from my parents that never seemed to come, hoping that maybe, just maybe, one day I'll be good enough to get away and never look back. Thinking that you're not good enough to receive and I'm proud of you as you grow up really starts to make you question, am I good enough for someone to be proud of me? I don't feel proud of me. Although I seem to accomplish things in life, I don't feel proud of my accomplishments. I feel it's an expectation that I'm capable of achieving and should achieve. I don't give myself the benefit of enjoying anything as I accomplish them because in my mind, I've already set that expectation that finishing the task is the bare minimum that should be done. When the task or project feels completed, it's a sigh of relief, a breath of fresh air, a cigarette, and on to the next task on my list. I keep busy to run from the thoughts in my head and the hurt in my heart. We all run from something, all day, every day. There's burdens that we carry with ourselves that we don't wish upon even our worst enemy. The things I see in my dream and relive every night isn't something that I would wish anyone to deal with for 13 years. We all try to run. Some things make it easier to run for a short time. Alcohol, Xanax, weed, coke, Molly, mushrooms, acid, Oxycontin, Percocet, and the list goes on. The sad truth of the matter, while all these things seem like they're helping us in the beginning, it's really just taking us on a different track to run from our problems. Perspective may show us that we're gaining some ground and finally running from our problems. Objects and mirrors are always closer than they appear. While we run at a full sprint because of our aids, our problems are still chasing us at a steady, consistent pace, being fueled by what we discard from trauma along our new track, getting stronger through its training while our sprint is starting to make us weaker, needing more of our aid to keep us pushing than to even get started. There's no way around the fact that we have to take the time to sit with ourselves and prepare for the storm and the giant that is headed our way. I'm preparing for that storm again. You think that when you realize that you've been running in a circle and doing nothing about your problems and begin to get ready to do something about it, you'll be done fighting through such hard storms. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. You get what you give out of life. You put out negative, always looking for the bad, and that's what you'll get. That's where I'm at, where I've always been. It's hard to see the good or positive in life when you grew up being disappointed, degraded, and humiliated for getting your hopes up and expecting a positive outcome from a situation. You start to try to control environments and situations, hoping for positive outcomes you can envision, but again, leads to disappointment and negative outcomes. When good things do happen, you feel what might actually be some happiness. Life comes through with an unexpected trial and tribulation. How you respond is everything. Responding in conversation and responding to adversity. Every time I turned around, I feel like there's always been another mountain to climb to get where I'm going. I can respond to those challenges, physically and logically, usually with some confidence, but not much. Responding in conversation is non-existent. Responding with my opinion led to arguments, fights, disagreements, and eventually took its emotional toll on me. I no longer respond with my thoughts, emotions, wants, and needs because they've been neglected for so long by people that were supposed to be a big part of my life. It's easy to be carefree and talk about things, wants, hopes, dreams, desires, with people that I see as temporary people in my life. While these temporary people I may want around for as long as possible, they're people that I spend a temporary amount of time with throughout the week, like friends, extended family, busy family, or even clients. It's easy to open up about things about yourself with them because you may not see them for a while. Thoughts are always scrambled around for me. Writing this down digitally will make it easier to come back and expand on my thoughts, adding more revelations to my understanding. I'm doing this because I am at the edge. I'm afraid of taking prescription drugs because of side effects, because of my substance abuse tendencies, and because I want to still feel like myself. I guess I have the need to feel in control, or at least the illusion of control. I know I have no control of my addictions, and I am an all or nothing person. I have to do none or all. Releasing these thoughts and feelings are my last ditch effort to keep myself here. One gut shot after another from life has worn me down. I grew up too fast and have no sense of a safe world around me. I used to want to be the person that never touched any drugs or alcohol and never smoked. I did well at avoiding temptation for many years. It feels easy to avoid when you see how people act and treat others, along with the toll it takes on someone's body. I wanted to be able to be an active, exploring, nature-loving person for as long as I could. Then I started to reason with myself, telling myself, you see how you don't want to be, just don't be like those people and you'll be fine. It's a funny joke to tell yourself as you look back. You don't want to be like your parents, but at the end of the day, we are our parents' kid. We may fight our hardest battles to break a generational curse, but we still have to fight like hell over and over and over again. I still have glimpses in my head of being that person that doesn't smoke, doesn't use weed anymore. It gives me some anxiety, but it also makes me think of a brighter future, free of more addictions. Then my negative outlook sets in, and I begin to believe what I'm telling myself, that I'll never be able to do it, or that more importantly, I can control it better. I know that I can't. I can try, which works for some time, maybe a few hours, maybe a day or two, or maybe a couple weeks, but then I slip again. I always slip. Fall back into that rut again. The rut of negative thinking, negative outlooks, using drugs and alcohol to try and get a little ahead of my problems to get ready to fight them again. It's never the right answer as times went along. I see the ways that I have matured to battle my problems, but I am also lacking in so many ways as well. I sulk, I mope, I ruminate in the festering depths of my toxic mind. I let it consume me and eat me alive. I let this toxic growth consume me and those around me that are trying to love me. I make it hard for people to love me. I feel I'm undeserving of love, true love. Only loved for what I can do and provide. I feel too much for people to be close to me. I know I'm not the only person out there that has these struggles and issues. That's why I'm writing this to the universe. The collective conscience has a way of helping to smooth some things out through shared experiences. I feel I'm a hamster on a wheel, going round and round, a broken record, skipping and playing the same sad song on repeat. As hard as I work, as hard as I try to crawl away from the cesspool of life, as hard as I drive to get out of the rut, I'm always right back where I started, rock bottom. Things go well for a period of time, and you start slipping back down the mountain, getting back up and trying again and again and again, just to keep slipping farther down the mountain from where you started to begin with. Rock bottom can always go lower. As time goes on, that climb back up to just where you were gets harder and harder to make. You have all the reasons to get up and do the damn thing, but you don't. You're beat down, sitting there letting your problems just punch you over and over and over until it's tired and walks all over you. I feel like a doormat. People pleasing and getting disrespected and walked all over. I people please because that's how I feel I was given validation and praise as a child. What I could do and provide for others, my presence in existence was never enough. My negative outlook on life has warped my mind and changed my brain chemistry to not feel happy from anything I do or try anymore. The closest I feel to happiness is when I'm getting to play dad to my stepdaughter, watching our shows with my wife, and having sex. But anymore, I feel like I'm being replaced in everyone's life. I'm not needed anymore. I feel useless. I'm only here because I'm not somewhere else. I feel lost. I don't feel like I belong anywhere, not wanted anywhere. I don't feel celebrated in places, just tolerated. I feel like what I want and desire doesn't matter, only if I have the time for people. Where do I go from here? My goal is to grow into the person that had hopes of the future of being a better place for me, the good things that will happen for me. I want to treat people better than I have. I have to treat myself better than I have. I have to forgive myself for the things that I have done, all my shortcomings and mistakes. Mistakes have always meant failure to me, of various extremes. Failure meant being yelled at, belittled, grounded at one point in my life, and then failure also meant that people would die at another point in my life. The thought that because of a mistake I made, people do not go home to their families, they wouldn't get to see their loved ones grow up, there would be an empty place at the table and in their family's heart because of a mistake I made. It eats me every day that because I didn't listen to my gut and say that we should go around that choke point in the buffalo, people lost their life horrifically. Everything happens for a reason. There may have been nothing that we could have done for those people, even if we didn't have the mechanical failure. We may have still been too late, but not knowing is a terrible feeling. The smell of burnt flesh, hair, clothes, and tires filling the air with a thick black smoke. This drive, these images, the smell, the thoughts, the feelings, this day lives with me every night in my dreams. When we turn away from that carnage, it's another recovery that I'm needed on where our other platoon, took a pillow charge and split their vehicle. The anxiety and worry for those fellow members of our company are just as real now as they were then. It's hard to get past these events while they're still such a real part of my everyday life. I want the nightmares of sleep and awake to stop. You handle it well. On the outside, sometimes. On the inside, hardly at all. I have a tough exterior so people don't know that I'm hurting and vulnerable. When I've let my guard down and taken my armor off for people to see my wounds, it's been used against me. Weapons used against me in ways to make me feel that I'm hard to love, too hard to be around, too draining, too much pressure, too scary. I'm never enough until somebody needs something. Am I too much? Is the baggage that I'm carrying around too much? Even emptying the baggage from time to time to lighten the load hasn't made the load any less massive, just easier to carry with me. Is it too much? Am I better off just going through all this alone? At least then it's only me I'm disappointing, and I'm used to that. It's the added disappointment I feel from others that adds the disappointment in myself. I sit and wonder, often, how life could have been different from very different points in my life. Would I be happy if I was still in the military doing high-speed stuff for almost 20 years in? Would I have been happy being a police officer or a detective? Would I have been happier being a lawyer or biologist? Could I stop the substance abuse long enough to even make those realities a possibility? Questions that I have no way of answering. The what-ifs will eat us alive too. If this, then that. It isn't a valid way to think. It's all imaginary, and we can hurt ourselves by setting expectations of a fairy tale and always being let down. I can only do today with what I was given yesterday. There's a lot that I could have done differently throughout my life, but here we are, picking up the pieces of a shattered existence. I wonder why all the time. Why am I still here? Why haven't I died yet? Why do I choose relationships where I feel unloved? Why am I still being pushed back when I'm trying? It's a victim mentality. I do all of these things, work so hard, diligently, respectfully, and genuinely try to be the nicest person I can to everyone, and I'm always getting the short end of the stick. I'm expected to be happy about it. Happy that I even got a piece of the stick in the first place. I wonder what it's all worth. Why am I still here on this planet just to appease everyone else at the detriment to myself? I break my body, my mind, and spirit for everyone around me just to get little to nothing in return. The past has never been a place that I like to dwell, only a place that I like to learn from and help prepare me for future experiences. Patterns repeat themselves. I look to the future constantly and always have. Lately, I felt the future has been so bleak because of the repeated patterns of my past. At some point, I have to break the cycle for a new future or continue to pay the karmic price day after day. Some days, I feel like I'm paying my debt to karma, and others, I wonder why she's still collecting interest. I've paid and paid. I believe that Bad things in my life are not only the product of my choices and actions, but also deserved. Getting this off my chest is helping a little. The more I let out, I'm sure the better I will feel. Once I'm able to express this on paper, I need to be able to express this verbally. I always choke up, and I wonder at times when it'll be my turn to finally be. I always choke up and don't say anything. My words never seemed to carry any weight growing up. I was ignored and disregarded. I wonder at times when it'll be my turn to finally be truly happy, without conditions or it all falling apart. Wishing without working towards it all feels empty, expecting a miracle. I know I have the capability, capacity, and ability to be a better version of myself, but I struggle with what it's all worth. Is it worth working this hard on myself to still be in the same rut when the road gets slippery again? My support system doesn't feel like much support to me anymore. I feel like I'm walking alone on the road. And people just see me, but it's not their problem to help with me. So I just keep walking and pushing towards the next destination, even though I have no idea where that might be. I stumble through the darkness, trying to find where the light is, to pull myself out and pick myself up. I just keep falling down. I reach up out for help, but there's no one there to pick me back up but me. It's exhausting. I haven't been able to depend on or rely on people throughout my life. I've had to rely on me. I'm sure I have a jaded way of looking at things from having a warped negative outlook on life. I'm always waiting for the next disaster to strike me. My life feels like a constant battle of fighting fires. Put one fire out just in time to fight another. There's no time off because no one is helping me extinguish the fires, only adding to them. There doesn't feel like there's anything worth fighting for in life anymore. I have no children of my own. I don't spend hardly any time with my family, if they even want me around to begin with. People can say what they want, but their actions say otherwise. I feel like I was put here on this earth to suffer for other people. I take the weight and the burdens so others don't have to, because I know I can handle it, or at least I think I can. I think I can handle all the stress and responsibility, but I have a hard time finding balance. I'm losing touch with who I am, who I want to be. It's causing a rift in my relationships with others. Where do I go from here? I'm already at rock bottom, or so I think. I have an overwhelming feeling. It's not if I'm going to kill myself, but a matter of when. When will I finally have enough of being life's punching bag? When will I finally get tired of being set back time after time? When will I finally say enough is enough? I'm far from okay. Far from being an active participant in my life. I'm just going through the motions, giving bare minimum effort for everything. It's all I have left in my tank. While I'm starting to feel lighter writing this, the world, the future, and my stress still weighs heavy. Everything feels off. This isn't the life I dreamed I would be living. Stuck in survival mode every day of my life, begging for someone to love me for who I am and not what I can provide. Living every day in constant wonder if I'll ever be good enough. I want to be shown what true love is like, not conditional love when I'm at my best and able to give. What's left for me in this life? Maybe if I could see positive outcomes and the good in life, I would look forward to waking up in the mornings, but maybe not. Maybe good things would happen to me if I could be grateful for my life, but maybe not. I try to reflect and be grateful for what I have, the opportunities I have, and the people in my life, but I have a hard time to look past the bad going on. The light inside me is out, the bulb is bad, the wiring is faulty, and the switch is broken. I try new bulbs, and nothing happens. I flip the switch a few times with the new bulbs, and sometimes the light is on for a few minutes and goes out again. Other times, the light comes on and stays on, then the wiring starts to smoke and smolder before the light has to be turned off. I want to do nothing and be nowhere all the time. I'm crushed by the weight I've placed on myself to be 1,000 things for 1,000 different people. I don't know who I truly am. When I ask myself that question, I don't know who I am other than miserable. I don't enjoy being around other people. I don't enjoy music, television anymore. I don't enjoy playing cards. I don't enjoy smoking weed or cigarettes. Sitting in complete silence is what I do now. There's nothing in the darkness and silence, and that's where I belong, in the emptiness of nothingness. My contribution to this world feels over. I do nothing meaningful to fulfill anyone's lives, including my own. Extending this miserable existence any longer seems pointless. I can be grateful for the fact I can be grateful for the fact that I have a newer vehicle. Okay. I can be grateful for the fact that I have a newer truck, a mother, sister, grandmother, niece, nephew, wife, and stepdaughter, but it all feels like a burden of people that I'm letting down. I can barely pay the truck payment, insurance, and gas to get to work with it. I can't afford groceries to eat properly, so I'm surviving on chips, Little Debbie's, and Slim Jims. I have a wife that doesn't want to spend time with me, a stepdaughter that is the same, a family that is always busy and I never see. I don't make time for people. I'm a waste of space in their lives. They can live much happier lives if they didn't have to think about or worry about me going forward. The pain I feel inside is what I'm trying to shield everyone from, but it's finding the gaps in my armor to leak out. I know people see how miserable I am. I wish I had the balls to just eat a bullet tonight. I would only pass this pain on to other people. It would never truly go away. It just gets passed around. That won't solve anything either. I just don't know what to do anymore. I don't feel like I have anyone to talk to but myself. It's a constant battle between kill yourself, you're worthless, and keep fighting. Life hasn't even begun to be beautiful yet. But when? When will I magically wake up and feel like life is worth living? I can say those words, but what if I don't feel it? What if I think that life will never be worth living? Put me on all the meds and all the therapy, all the inpatient treatment that you want. I don't think life is worth living. It's been a living hell since I can remember. All the choices I've made to make an attempt to make it better, and I'm still living in a daily hell. What's it all worth? Answering my insanity, the only place I go from here is either healing or a grave. There's no in between anymore. I either heal or die. My back is against the wall. There's no one instance that broke me, but a million little moments that have led to me to believe I have nothing worth living for anymore. I only get better through hard work, therapy, and persistence. I can only take this one day at a time. I have to be fine today and then worry about tomorrow as it comes. I have to be more present in the moment with myself and those around me. This is all that I currently am. A sorry sack of shit that's feeling sorry for themselves all the time. Never making any strides towards getting any better, just a waste of space. It will take time, but I believe I can learn to forgive myself for those things that I have done in my past. I've done these things. I can't change that. Only allow myself the grace of accepting that I've made mistakes, treated people poorly, and manipulated my way into what I wanted to feed my addiction. My passion for life may return over time, hard telling when. I have to feel like I'm good enough for myself. I'm not living up to the expectations that I have for myself. Getting out of survival mode will help to keep a healthy, consistent path. I have no idea what it's all worth. Whatever value we place on it. I'll probably have a good night's sleep the day that I die. I'm tired of faking it through the day. I don't know when I'll truly laugh again. Very rarely do I not hate myself. There's a lot to unpack to begin to not unhate the person that I am. This is a battle with myself on why to stick it out and stick around in this life. I'm tired, boss. Too tired to keep doing this for an undisclosed amount of time. I struggle with the thought that I deserve any pleasure or good out of life. What have I done to deserve it? I'm mad about everything, ungrateful, hateful, rude, and judgmental. I don't deserve anything except to be the miserable person that I am. It would be easy to just end it all and be done with it, but I've never gave up that easy. I don't know how much longer I can keep fighting. The voices and thoughts in my head are out yelling the noise I use to distract it. The worthlessness is felt in my bones. The feeling that no one will miss me when I'm gone is radiating and ruminating in my head, pounding off every part of the inside of my brain You are nothing. You'll always be nothing. There's nothing you can do to make it any different. No one will choose you first. You'll always be a backup plan and only as good as what you're able to provide. What's the point to keep fighting to end up with the same feelings in a new place? I don't feel safe with my thoughts anymore. It's too overwhelming to dump this out on someone else who's going to tell me to pick myself up and move on. That's what I do every day, dragging all that's been written before this with me, every day, everywhere I go. Some days I'm proud of all that I'm carrying with me and still here to continue to fight, but it's exhausting fighting alone. I feel like every decision is another mistake, another path taking me farther from who I want to be and where I want to be, and for what? To please someone else? What are they doing for me? Buying me things? But when are they ever truly there for me? Hardly ever, and only at their convenience. Why don't I just kill myself? What do I have to live for? I tell myself it's because I have responsibilities and things on my plate that I don't want to pass off to someone else. But it's going to happen regardless. I leave, they'll find another realtor. I die, she'll find another man. I leave, she'll find another father figure. I die, my niece and nephew will know stories before they even had a chance to know who I really am. I die, and I make my mom feel like she's failed. I'm alive for other people. I'm not alive for myself. I don't want to be alive. I'm easily replaceable. I'll never be that person that will leave a void that can't be filled when I'm gone. I'm just a piece of shit that can't get it together. Someone out there is begging to have a life like I have because of the outside appearance and perception. What I keep inside and don't allow the world to see is the catch-22 to someone wanting my life. On the outside, I have a wife and stepchild, family that helps, 2 jobs, a nice, reliable vehicle, some expensive things, bills paid every month, some food in the fridge and cabinets. But none of that is truly what it is in perception. I'm one emergency away from losing everything that I've worked for. Everything in my life is hanging on by such a thin thread, and I keep adding more weight to see when the thread will break. What do I do with this self-realization? Run away? Fight harder? Finally give in? How can I fake happiness until I find it? There's an emptiness in my chest. I find it hard to feel feelings. I force the feelings or reactions without truly being able to feel those feelings inside of me. I cry, still feeling hollow and emotionless inside. Feels fake, but still authentic at the same time. When the time does come, maybe someone will read this, and it will all make sense why I was the way that I was, why I was so paralyzed to do anything about my life, and I simply gave up. People will say they wish they knew, or they wish there was something that they could do, but there's not. There's nothing anyone can do for me to make this go away or get any better. I just hate myself and hate the thought of pushing on another day. I used to say the line from Forrest Gump all the time, "Dear God, make me a bird so I can fly far, far away from here." I used to have optimism about the future, that I could shape the future I want by doing the right thing and marching forward towards that dream. I thought I had to keep moving forward. I'll get where I want to be and finally be happy. I'm chasing a mythical dragon. I'll never be happy because I've never been happy. I've been excited at the idea of happiness and what that could look like on the exterior, but never realized how truly unhappy I was and still am. I'm lost. Lost in what I should be doing in my life. Lost in where I should be going. Lost in the muddy mixture of sinking thoughts. Will I ever get to a functional state again, or am I broken until I die? Why? 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 I have no more answers, only silence. Words fail to form when I want to speak. I attempt to say words, but all that happens is a tightening in my stomach and a mumble of a single syllable word. What do you do with a life that you don't want to live? There are days where it's easier to forget. Some days are easier to block out the noise. There's still moments in those days that the feelings and thoughts still find their way through. No rhyme or reason, but they still show up. I slip sometimes and listen and believe those thoughts. It feels almost impossible to wake up in a good mood. Between the terrible night terrors that I have and the constant disrespect that I put up with on a daily basis, I'm over it all. There's no looking forward to waking up in the morning. I'm just bitter all the time. There's no joy that I feel inside of me. I have to fake being in a good mood on the outside to please everyone else around me. Heaven forbid I feel like this. I'm always the problem and everyone's solution at the same time. It's exhausting. They don't want me for me, but what I can provide, but only conditionally that I don't disrupt their mood or act like myself. Life is pointless anymore. 10 steps forward and 20 steps back. Progress keeps leading to setbacks. Everything sucks, and that's the only way that I see it. I don't see the good in anyone or anything. There's no getting better from here, at least in my mind or in my physical life. I want to be nowhere with no one around so I can finally be at peace with my own death. I'm tired of being a disappointment for the last 20 years to myself. I don't live up to my own expectations and haven't in 13 years. I float through every day just trying to make it to the next because maybe tomorrow will be better. By some miracle, again, I don't play an active part in trying to make my life any better. So it has to be a miracle for something to change. I'm unwanted and don't matter. I want to feel wanted, just not when it's convenient for someone, but whenever it's hard to choose me to. It feels like the love that I receive is conditional. If I'm having a bad day or not in a good mood, I'm not deserving of the same love that I receive when I'm in a good mood and having a good day. Life is unfair, and I have to get over it. I'll never get a fair shake in life. I have to come to grips with that. I have to play the hand that I'm dealt. Not every game will be won with the hand that I'm dealt. You can't give up before the cards are even spread around the table. My value to myself lowers every day. I feel I have less and less to offer the world each day that passes. I'm giving up little by little each day, but at an exponential rate. I want to matter. I actually feel like I matter. Everything I want, I have to be willing to give in return. To get what you give in this world, I give out negative pessimism and receive a life full of shit in return, and I'm shocked and act surprised. I see many of the errors and faults in my ways, but I'm too paralyzed or lack enough care to change any of my ways. What will it get me? More tolerance, patience, and understanding to continue to be walked all over? I talk to myself because I don't feel validated elsewhere. There's always someone who has it worse. Someone who's begging to be in my shoes. Just because that's the truth doesn't reduce the severity of my needs or emotions. I sacrifice for others around me. I push my body, my vehicles, my emotions, my tools, my mental state. All get pushed to the limit and pushed to the side for other people's needs. I allow people to take so much advantage of me that my needs are continually not met. What does a safe love look like and feel like? I never seen it growing up and didn't have any example to lead me as I developed into a man. I had poor examples and examples that I knew I didn't want to repeat. Unfortunately, the feelings I have now are the same as my younger self. I feel like a safe adult that my younger self would be safe around and be a safe place for them to talk to and vent, and that makes me proud. I'm at least part of a version of myself that I hope to be as an adult. There's always room for improvement to continue to be a better me. I want to be better, but don't know if I have it inside me anymore. I fight with myself knowing I'm capable of so much but do so little. Overthinking is a big problem for me. I always go to the worst case scenarios in my head and fight up from there. Thinking of even more worst case scenarios from my worst case scenario. I fight battles I'm making up just to keep chaos alive in my brain. My insecurities could eat me alive. Sometimes I have the confidence I need, but most of the time I am highly insecure with my abilities, my looks, my relationships, and my capabilities. This is a hard roadblock for me. I don't feel deserving of being better or good or for good things happening. I wonder what is wrong with me all the time. I know that my trauma has changed my brain chemistry, but why am I so addicted to feeling this bad that I refuse to fight for a better tomorrow? Maybe it's the rush of the chaos, the stress, or maybe something else. Am I strong enough to see the better me even come to be? I want to be that person, but nervous what it will cost. I already don't enjoy this life as is. Will that version allow me to enjoy life again? I don't know. My dreams are constantly filled with violence. Running for my life, being shot at, shooting at people, fighting, punching people, confronting ghosts or evil forces. Subconsciously, I'm fighting the demons of my mind when I sleep. I manifest that fight in my waking world. The heavy feeling is hard to shake in the morning. My dreams feel like warnings and premonitions. I've had spot-on deja vu dreams that are just as I dreamt them in the past. I feel that also makes it harder to get over my dreams when they feel so real. It feels like a prediction of the future. Being left, being alone, not being anyone's first choice, fighting for my life by myself, no support, and having to figure out all my problems alone with no guidance or care from others. I want to feel like I'm a priority to those I love. I want to be wanted the way I want them. I have no control over that or how people feel about me. I can only continue to control myself. Work towards being a better version of myself and hope that I am a priority to someone eventually. How do I become less needed by auxiliary people in my life? I need to learn to say no to people. When I say no, I feel like I'm not needed by those people. When I feel like I'm not needed by people, why bother even being in those people's lives? I feel I don't have any value in people's lives unless they need me for something. People don't choose me for being me, they choose me for what I can do and provide. I feel like a burden to those around me. I weigh others down when I let out my thoughts and feelings. People say I'm not a burden, but no one likes to sit with me in the darkness, at least not long enough for it to feel like it helped. I'm the only one that can save me, and I know it. I'm full of excuses. Excuses for why I am the way that I am. Excuses for why I haven't made any progress. Excuses to enable my poor behavior and habits. I justify my detrimental behavior through saying it helps me cope. I deserve this because of X, Y, or Z. I might make strides forward, but then justify my setbacks by thinking I can control it, or it won't be that bad. I am that bad. The things that I would have already missed after the first attempt, then after the second, and even just the other night. There would have been cherishable moments that I wouldn't have had access to from a split-second decision. I'm grateful that I listened to my inner dialogue and just went home to go to sleep instead of loading the pistol. I am that bad inside of my head. How does any of this help me? Getting this out of my brain and body and into the universe feels freeing. Like I'm no longer holding the heaviness of this in, only the lingering effects of the feelings. I still feel the urge to end it, but it's subsiding again. What happens when it comes back just as strong again? Who am I whenever the titles are removed? All I know is that I'm a people pleaser, hard-headed, and a hard worker. So who am I when all the walls are down? Always faking a smile. Fake it till you make it. I rarely feel a genuine smile, and faking a smile on my face feels weird, but it keeps others in a good mood. Inside, I hate pretty much everything about myself. Hard to smile when you don't feel like that you have anything to smile about. Gratefulness is definitely something that I lack. I guess I lack in that department so much because I've climbed a molehill and been pushed back down so many times, but keep climbing. When I can accomplish things to get me back up to the status quo, I'm not inclined to be grateful because I did that hard work time and time and time again to get back to that position. Even if I get knocked down 100 times, I'm getting up 101 times. I'm no good to anyone, honestly. People don't deserve the problems that I come with. I only ruin those around me that stay long enough. What is so wrong with me that I can't get better? My lack of effort certainly doesn't help. The morning is when I always feel the worst and the heaviest. From the hangover of my dreams leading me into the reality of today that I'll be walking on pins and needles again, tiptoeing around my anxiety and depression. I always feel the worst in the mornings. Some days, I don't get over that hump of these feelings. It starts to ruin my day and the day of those around me. My social battery doesn't charge long enough anymore. It just gets put on charge and then is needed again shortly thereafter. The light is always blinking, always a dead battery, but I keep pushing the battery further and further. When it does get charged up more, it gets fully drained extremely quickly. I try to charge in between events and during the lows, but it barely keeps me going. Recharging is harder and harder to come by. Being the yes man is exhausting. When do I start to say no to people? Start chipping away at the things that wear me down and keep me from getting closer to my goals. Boundaries are important. Obstacle after obstacle, I just keep moving forward. I always keep pushing forward blindly, just working hard enough to get through, without seeing if there's a better or easier way to accomplish my task. I hate to ask for help because I always consistently get disappointed by people unable to help me whenever I need it. I tend not to rely on anyone else for my needs because, again, I've been continuously let down over the years. It's just easier to put all the pressure on myself and only worry how I'm going to figure it out alone. I'm always alone, fighting my battles and tackling my tasks anyways. Again, I feel loved and appreciated only conditionally. I'm praised and rewarded for doing what people want, but it's never what I want. When I express my wants and needs, if they're met with lackluster performance and complaints. It's always a one-way street. I hate my life, but don't care enough to change it. I hate waking up in the morning. I hate taking calls that lead to no sales. I hate going to work all day to be disrespected every night. I hate not being chosen first. I hate going to sleep at night. I hate my dreams. I hate never having enough money for basic needs. I hate that I smoke. I hate that I'm not in shape. I hate that my back always hurts. I hate that I hate my life. All that hate inside of me is consuming me. I want it all to end, every second of every day. It's all I think about. There's times when it calms down or is pushed out of my mind because there's a task in front of me. As soon as those tasks are finished, my mind travels right back to the thoughts that my life sucks. It isn't worth living anymore, and I should just kill myself. I believe those words, but also hate giving up. I'd rather be told I failed and have to stop trying before I quit. Eventually, the shitty experience will be over, and who knows what's waiting for us after this. Misery loves company, but I'm always alone. When I'm feeling like this, I'm told I have to figure it out all on my own. People always leave. People always give up on me too. Why keep trying? Why even keep existing? It's clear that I'm not anyone's first choice, second choice, but people's last choice. Hope. Hope that tomorrow will be better. Not that the fighting is less or that things will go as I want and plan, but hope that better means I'm less burdened by the same issues. Hope that I can move on. Hope is all that I have. Prayer. I used to pray that I would be able to get far away, or die early to get away from this home life. That started at 13 and hasn't really subsided since. Unanswered prayers have led me to see a lot of good and bad, joys and pain, right and wrong, love and hate since that very first prayer. Oh, the things I would have missed, the people I would have never met. Everything happens for a reason. We meet people exactly when we are supposed to, even if those people are regular figures in our lives. Their presence is no accident on any given day. Everything happens for a reason. Lean in and embrace the suffering again to let it out. Feel every inch of the pain. Write it out and let it out. Turn those weaknesses into points of improvement, starting with more positive talk. Look at everything you've been through and you are still standing, still stronger than most addictions of the past. You haven't reverted to old habits. Some ruts are still in the rear view. Recovery is possible for all aspects of our lives. Start now with thinking of the positives in life. The negatives are easy to find. Let's play Where's Waldo with the positives. Don't give up now. All the things you would have missed after the last couple attempts to give up. What could be ahead? Good things when we put good in. Continue to be a good person, work hard, and have a plan. Execute that plan and then thrive. Giving up eliminates that opportunity to prove all that to yourself. You know you are capable of anything. That thought excites and terrifies you. The satisfaction of work wears off fast because you feel you can do anything. Bouncing from job to job could be more satisfying than staying in one place. Wearing many hats every day helps to quell that need. The chores and responsibilities. I want to feel more like a father to my stepdaughter. I need to set a better example of the person I want her to look up to. I need to be more presence. I need to be the presence as a father figure in the house. I want to navigate better ways to be a better husband while having my boundaries respected. I pull back into my shell like a turtle and hide. Get stepped on like a doormat. How to have enough time and energy to show my love and affection to my family, my work, and myself. Mornings are still the worst. No drive or desire to get out of bed and do anything with myself. My dreams leave me exhausted when I wake up. I'm tired of waking up more exhausted than when I went to sleep. My first thought of the mornings are usually the same. Great. I'm awake to live another miserable day of this shit-filled existence. It doesn't matter if I did have all the money in the world, things going my way consistently, I would still be a miserable person. I hate myself. I hate my life. I'm tired of participating. I wake up feeling hopeless. My steps forward are like steps on a treadmill. Looks like you're doing something, but you're actually going nowhere. A psychedelic reset helps to work through the thoughts in my head and feel positive. The rebuild and reboot of the brain and body after has left me down pretty low this time around. The reset was good in the moment. The reboot has been rough. The thoughts hit harder than before the reset. The what's it all worth, more visions of the disrespect and the waste of time of my life. It usually takes longer to get back to this state, but it was the day after when they were back again. There still isn't any desire to do anything that used to bring me happiness. It's only done to waste some time. There still isn't any desire to do things that used to bring me happiness, only done to waste the time. Okay. There isn't hardly any joy in doing anything. Don't rush things. Everything happens as it's supposed to. Let the deals unfold. Don't rush to pay the bills. Don't rush clients. Don't rush yourself through the transaction and miss something. The future feels hopeless. Like I'll be in the same spot, same predicament forever. I can see it, but don't have enough energy and fight in me to change it. What's the point anymore? Every day seems to start and end the same, poorly. I wake up exhausted, bitter, and hateful. I attempt to go to sleep while still exhausted, spiteful, and hateful. Those are the only feelings inside of me anymore. While feeling them, they all feel the same. I just feel empty, nothingness. There's no joy inside of me. I don't know where to look for it anymore. I can fake it for short instances, the Customer Service Act, but the more I tap into it throughout the day, the less of an effect and more draining it is to use. Every day feels closer to the edge, closer to the point of slipping the noose over and kicking the chair, loading the bullet and tasting the lead. Going through life like this for any more amount of years is too much. It feels overwhelming to make a difference in my life and to turn things around. I take care of the basics, but it's only the bare minimum. Nothing really changes in my life. I'm no closer to being out of debt, no closer to being a happy person. I never will be. I haven't been happy for as far back as I can remember. I'll be unhappy for as far as I can see in the future. It's my destiny to suffer until I'm dead. No amount of hard work, perseverance, or determination will deter me from the fact that my life is meant for suffering. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, I'm only meant to suffer in this lifetime. Cutting my time short will not dilute this sentence. I will still have to serve my sentence. How do I make the suffering end while I'm still breathing? Feels like a question I've been searching for. Feels like a question I've always been searching for an answer. My attempts to free my mind of the torment only last for short bursts. I burn out quickly and just coast through a finish line. Motivation and drive are at an all-time low. There's no motivation to do anything other than to just be moving instead of stagnating. No excitement for anything in my bones, only dread when someone wants to involve me. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be here for anyone anymore. Over 28 years of being miserable, worthless, useless, and pointless in life leave me thinking that the next 28 years only bring the same. Being a 61-year-old miserable person, still praying for death every night. I wake up in a rage every morning at the fact that I even woke up. I'm told to be grateful that I opened my eyes. While it's true, that's as good as the day will ever get. It's only downhill from there. I'm not grateful for another day. I loathe the fact that the odds of me waking up tomorrow are higher than not. I don't know what to do anymore. I dread talking to people. I make plans that I wish I didn't. I say I'll do things that I wish I wouldn't. I don't want to be around anyone, and I don't want anyone around me. How do I even fix this? There's no joy or enjoyment in doing anything anymore, only the relief that it's done for now. There isn't anything that I used to enjoy that I can enjoy for longer than 5 minutes now. That was my diary from May to July 2026. Thank you for listening.